Hola, party people. This is Alicia Monet, and I just have something to say. I'm outside in my backyard right now, walking around trying to find a good spot to be. I don't know if I want to sit down, stand up, or what, but I think I'm gonna sit in this chair. The sun is so nice, feels so good on my skin. Hello. All right. So I just wanted to check in because I'm not gonna do my show tonight due to technical difficulties. I thank you guys all for being so understanding of the technical difficulties. There's really nothing I can do about it. So I don't get all worked up about it or all anxious about it or all any kind of way about it. It just is what it is, you know? I try to make the most of my opportunities when things change and just go with the flow. I'm much better at it now, so I'm really happy about that. The sun is amazing. So what I wanted to say, oh yes, tonight's show, which is going to happen tomorrow night, so tomorrow night's show is a vibrant soul session. So do you remember when I told you guys that I'm gonna have a music show, because there's different music that has changed my life, that helped me, that counseled me, that comforted me throughout my life and my journey. Same thing. And so I want to share that with you. This particular show is, I decided to do this music because of the fact that I've been so concerned with my healing process, and my shows have been all about my healing process. Whereas before, when Divine Inspiration first, it was more so about the issues that faced us as a community, as a country, as a global community. And so I would talk about issues like race, socioeconomic status, politics, religion and spirituality, and sexuality. Those were the 5 issues that affect each and every one of us, both indirectly and directly. And we don't talk about it. These are the most taboo things. Now, I want to say that back in 2003, people really didn't talk about that kind of stuff. Now, after I came out of the cult, I was literally in a vacuum. I wasn't in the world. I couldn't tell you what was popular. I couldn't tell you what song was out. I couldn't tell you any of these things a year ago. Maybe 2 years ago. Yeah, because we're almost at the end of this year, which is amazing. Anyways, so once I came back to it, I'm like, okay, so I got to get focused. What am I going to do? I'm like, Divine Inspiration. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do it in church too, but they told me, we already have a radio show, Alicia. We don't really need to do that. Why don't you just focus on saving your brothers and sisters? I'm like, okay, well, I want to do that through radio because that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Anyways, so I'm like, okay, so, well, these things are not that taboo to talk about anymore. People talk about it, you know? And so, anyways, it all worked out because now I'm talking about my healing journey, and it's helping me to release. I'm telling you, like, I have grown so much since the beginning of the show, on the show, through the show, with all of you listeners who get something really good out of the show. It's just been an all-around blessing, and I'm very grateful. So I was feeling some type of way. Yes, with all of this stuff going on. I don't watch the news. I hear about everything that happens via social media. Whatever, call it what you want. The reason why I don't watch the news is because the news does something to me. I'm angry when I watch the news. I feel upset. I feel like there's nothing that I can do. I feel apathetic. I feel all kinds of ways. And so I didn't want to deal with all of those types of emotions. I got my own stuff going on without any of that. So I decided to put a cap on it. Plus, I know who runs the media. Like, this is a whole nother one. This is why I'm doing this show tonight. Because at the core, I can't sit around and watch my people. When I say my people, okay, yes, I'm talking about people of African ancestry living in the United States of America at this time right now. I mean, all people of African ancestry, you know, all people of color. I'm not a color blind person. I notice color because I see the way people are treated by color. Might be my history. I don't know. Might be my upbringing and the stuff that I experienced as far as race relations and social economic issues and just a whole lot of stuff going on, right? I'm really a global citizen. I'm not even from this planet, you know, so I'm cool with everybody. Facts are facts, though. I chose to be born as a woman of African ancestry and this wonderful time, because ancestors are rising in us right now and I have work to do. And so I understand and realize that I have to first fix myself and get myself together before I can fix or get anything else together. I have plans, I have things in store and things to do in order to help rejuvenate and to heal our communities. I do realize, though, that it starts with me and inside of me. Even back in the day when I was heavily involved in the community and I was doing a lot of these different, programs and events and stuff like that back in college, I noticed something when we're organizing. I mean, black people are so divided on everything. I just say black because it's like easy. I don't even like saying that. And that's one thing about being a person of African ancestry. You have black, you have African American, you have African, you have all this stuff, and you may not relate with any of it. It all may get on your nerves, or you may stick to one, and I don't care. I don't care. Whatever you choose to identify as, more power to you. I'm happy that you're identifying with something, because you know what? We have a lot of shit going on. Okay, working in these different organizations with these brothers and sisters of conscious community. That's so funny, conscious community, but whatever. I mean no disrespect by that, but I just think it's funny. One thing that I realize in these different groups is the fact that I get it. The shit that's going around, it incites anger. However, if you're not operating from a place of love, then all of your work is in vain. And let me tell you why. Because here you are, organizing with this group of people to put on an event in order to enlighten the community, or to bring some culture to the community, or to connect the community with different cultures, or whatever you're doing. But yet, amongst the organizing body, there's conflict and discord and people all up in their egos. And you know what I'm saying? Like, where is the love? This whole project is supposed to be based on love, yet you can't even love your brother who you're organizing with. So all of those nasty emotions and feelings that you're feeling while you're organizing with this person that you're tolerating because you can't stand them, because you guys have different ideologies, because you guys are sitting up here measuring your dicks instead of actually handling business, that part has to go. So that's why, first thing first, do you work on you. Allow this energy, this beautiful energy that we have right now, to dig up all that stuff and let all the debris be blown away by Oya. Let her blow it away. She will. She loves it. She loves it. So I don't blame you for nothing. I understand why you would go and shoot somebody up. I understand why you would choose not to go outside. I understand all of the and in between. I understand why you would hate black people. I understand why you would hate white people. I understand why you would, just love black people so much that you're willing to give your all. I get it. I get why you would want to associate with black people, why you would want to get money and go off to the suburbs and just live your little happy go merry go lucky life. I get it. I get it all, and I don't blame anybody for anything. I understand why you feel the way that you feel. Trust and believe me. So there's no judgment, there's no none of that, because any one of us could take our shared experience, our shared history, and choose to do a plethora of things, and that's okay. Words are powerful, but the truth of the matter is that for many, many years, especially from the 80s, I really want to talk about from the 80s, because before the 80s, though things were jacked up, and though there was always legislation created in order to block us from upward mobility throughout the time of us from the time of us being in slavery, with us not being able to learn how to read, and the fact that illiteracy is a big deal in our community and nobody wants to talk about it. Mental illness is a big deal in our community and nobody wants to talk about it. There's a lot of big deals in our community that nobody wants to talk about, and I get it. It's embarrassing. We already have this negative stereotype about us on top of everything else. But the reason why I said before the 80s, right? Because in the 80s is when they dropped the atomic bomb on us, the nuclear bomb. It was atomic bomb, because we always rise. It doesn't matter. It's been, 35 years since the 80s? Yes, it's been 35 years since the 80s, and guess what? That crack epidemic is done. Yes, I know that there are still people that grow up with mothers on crack and things like that, but what I'm saying is we're rising. Thank you guys did a number on us with that crack. Sure did. And then started putting us in jail for drug-related crimes, like selling drugs. Where do we get these drugs from? Huh? Where do we get these drugs from? Anyways, see, I'm getting worked up. Remind you, if you commit a crime, you become a slave to the state. Okay? Crimes are defined by lawmakers. Most lawmakers, from the beginning to now, don't have any type of regard for black lives. People of African ancestry, they don't like us. We weren't even considered human beings. Let's just call it what it is. So these are the people that are making the laws that determine what a crime is. And these crimes, these definitions, these laws are created and target people of African ancestry. Do you know there are people in prison that went to prison back in the 60s and 70s for speaking out against the government? And now, when I talk to people who are non-black about this, they always say, Alicia, that's treason, duh. And I'm like, okay, so then what do we do when the government has its foot on your neck and is pushing it down on the ground for no fucking reason? We can't speak out about that? That's not covered in free speech? We have people that are in prison to this day for writing articles. Writing articles, this is a media outlet, right? Articles, right? Writing articles about what they witnessed with their own eyes. From police brutality, this shit ain't new. This is not new. This ain't that new. From police brutality to redlining or blacklining, I don't even know what it's called. Basically, preventing black people from upward mobility in legislation. And all sorts of things. I'm passionate about it. I feel like this about it. I'm not the only one. It's 2015. Churches are still being burned. And what's crazy about the situation is that the attitude towards people of African ancestry from people who aren't, particularly white racists in the United States of America, the ones that just spend their whole life trying to terminate us and, make themselves feel better because we're gods and goddesses. Those attitudes didn't change just because 60, I don't even feel like doing the math. 60 some odd years ago, we were able to sit at the same tables and drink from the same water fountains. And you think that people just change their attitudes because we were allowed to do that? No. So, with that being said, I went to UCSD, the University of California, San Diego, and it was hella racist. That's the first time I dealt with racism. Now, I'm from California. I don't have a railroad track that I'm separated from white people. That I don't have a town full of black people where we're like all living together. No, I don't have that. I'm mixed. We're mixed up. I really have a lot of Mexicans, which I love. I love it. No biggie. But my point being is that I never experienced real hardcore racism. People having thinking that I'm inferior to them. That is crazy. And I heard many stories from my grandma who grew up down south, who moved to California with her husband, who experienced some things that she would just cry. And when I would ask her questions, because I'm a historian type of person, I want to pull out the answers. I want to know what's going on. I want to interview you. I want to know, hey, I want to ask questions. You know what I'm saying? That's just the nature. That's my nature. I want to get in your head. Then I want to know, okay, so this was your experience. How did you process that information? And what was going on in your mind right here? And how did you feel right there? That's just me. So, there were issues that my grandmother couldn't even talk about. My other grandma from Arkansas had her daddy, her grandfather, was a result of a slave or indentured servant. I think they were sharecroppers by that time. I'm not sure. But got raped. And that's how my great-great-great-grandfather came about. And so because he was a part of the family, his daddy, who had all this land and all this property, gave him some land. And his white brothers ran him off the land and tried to kill him. So he had to relocate with all of his family and they relocated to California in Fresno, in the Fresno area. So for generations, like 2, 3, 4 generations, 2 or 3 generations, they were in Fresno. Okay, so the point being is that this stuff is relevant to me. Why is it relevant to me? Because slavery ended in 1865. That's not very long ago. Okay, the residual the residual effects of slavery still exist to this day, because it wasn't just slavery, it didn't just end there. Then there were Jim Crow laws. There was hardcore segregation, and that would be fine. Fuck it, you don't want to be around me, I don't want to be around you, but allow me to make my money. Allow me to do what I need to do to better myself. Once you start saying, okay, yeah, we don't want you around us, but we also don't want you making money. No, you can't do that. We also don't want you to read and write. So we're going to set up schools for you so we can teach you how to fail. Yeah, so we can teach you how to work for us, because we just lost all this slave labor. And this rich country was built off of slave labor, off the backs of my ancestors. That's why this country is rich. Let's just keep it real. Let's call it what it is. This country is rich because of the work of my ancestors, okay? And then all these newly freed people, ignorant people that can't read or write, what are we going to do? We need somebody to produce everything that they were producing in order so that we can keep our status, so that we can keep making money. So what do? We do sharecropping. We build schools to teach them how to be agricultural workers. That's what we do. And then once the Industrial Revolution comes along, we'll teach them how to work in the factories. It's real simple. We'll just teach them how to work for us. Oh, but we need a foul-proof plan, see, because we really don't want to pay these people. And we really just want our slaves back. Like, let's just keep it real. So what we'll do is we'll make slavery illegal, except in the case that you commit a crime. And guess who gets to make up the crimes? We do. Just like it was illegal to teach people how to read. It was illegal for people to help runaway slaves. Just like that. Those same people got to write laws that defined crimes. They wrote laws that defined crime, so they can make up anything. They can say, if you turn around and look to your left, you're under arrest. That is a crime, punishable by life in prison. And once you are a prisoner, you are a slave of the state, baby. That's it. So it's no surprise why there are so many black people in prison. The prisons were built for us, in order so that we can go there and make that fucking furniture. You know, the colleges in the United States get their furniture from the prisons. My brothers and sisters that are in prison, they're making furniture for the United States of America. And all sorts of stuff, you know, it's free labor, you know? And so when people say things like, because I get it, you don't know unless you know. Even if you are black, you don't know unless you know. All you know is what you're exposed to and what you see. So if your mama's not teaching you, and your daddy's not teaching you, or your grandma's not teaching you, you don't have no uncles or aunties teaching you, your teachers damn sure ain't teaching you, you're not going to learn this information. And it's sad, because this is the truth. This is our history. This is why I'm so fired up. This is what this show is about. Without me getting into too many details, you know, it's just going to be music. Music from our people. And I'm saying it, from our people, that expresses how they feel. I mean, I couldn't imagine. The 20s is my favorite decade. Actually living in the 20s. I mean, I have imagined it. Let me stop lying. I could imagine it. But what I can't imagine is walking down the street and seeing people hanging from trees, being left up there. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that. I don't want to. I don't want to. I shouldn't have to. But it's the reality. These things happen. They happen in our country, the land of the free and the brave. That's so frustrating. What's so frustrating is that it's 2015. And now we're seeing churches being burned, people all happy about the Confederate flags. And the reason why is because now's the time when we are rising. All these things had to happen so that we could wake up. And what's so awesome about it is because the brothers and sisters who are like hood, my hood niggas, they are like ready to ride. Straight up, ready to ride. Now me, I'm not trying to kill nobody. I'm not trying to shoot nobody. I'm not trying to stab nobody, okay? That's not my role in all of this. If that's your role, more power to you. I support you 150% if that's your role, right? Every kingdom, there has to be a militia. Even Kali Ma had a militia. She had her thugs. So all of our thugs are like ready to go to war. Whatever position that you feel like you need to play that position. More power to you. Everybody's not a shooter. Everybody's not a prayer. Everybody's not a teacher. Everybody's not an activist. Everybody is not a magic worker. Everybody is not everything. You play your position. What is it that you're supposed to do? Do that. And if you don't know, you need to get quiet for a minute. I don't care if you're like super thugged out or not. You need to get quiet. Shh. And ask your ancestors. Ancestors, what do you want me to do? I promise you they are waiting for you to ask. They're right here waiting for you. Trust and believe me. As soon as I open my mouth, honey, stop it. As soon as I open my mouth, they're like, finally, yes, let us in. Okay, we got work to do. Let's clean this shit up real quick because we got to get you right. We got to clean all that up in there. We got to get you. Yeah, so the show is tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm ecstatic about it. I can't wait. I have things in store, you know what I mean? Like for my people. Let us link up, brothers and sisters. Let us link up. It's time for us to rise. Don't lose heart. Fear not. Don't grow faint now. This right here, this is beautiful. It may look like it's something bad, but there's always a blessing in the turmoil. There always is. Right now is the time to level up. It's level up time, guys. You got to do your inner work. Do your inner work. Your ancestors are going to work through you. Your higher self, you're just going to do your inner work. Listen. Do your inner work. I'm telling you, it's time for us to rise. All this stuff that's happening, the news and all this, fret not. Get focused. Get focused. All I'm saying is if you're frustrated about what's going on in our community and you want some change, you want to see something different. I hear people on Facebook say, where are our leaders? You are your leader. You be that what you want to see. If you want a leader so damn bad, then you need to become that leader. Okay? You need to do that. So that's all I'm saying is you play your position. We all have a position to play and we all need each other. We're all puzzle pieces. Okay? And we need to link up. I'm so happy that that we're coming out of that cracker. And let me tell you, the reason why I don't want to get into, oh, well, now in 2015, your rappers aren't doing shit for you. Your people that are here aren't doing shit for you. This, that, and the third. You guys all hate each other. Look at you guys are killing each other. Yada, yada, yada. Well, you know what? That's true. We've been taught to hate us just like you have. And it's sad, but it's true. It's sad, but it's true. But any country you go to, there's only one type of person that's predominantly in that country. They kill each other too. I mean, like, I hate when people try to just point out all of our faults. It's like, fuck, we've been hearing our faults for the whole fucking time. Like, ever since 1614, we've been hearing about our faults. We've been hearing about everything that's wrong with us, shit that's made up. What do you expect? We are living gods and goddesses that are waking up now. And I'm not going to say beware because we're not a intrinsically evil or what's the word I want to use? We're not the type of people that want to beat up on other people and hurt other people. We're genuinely a people that just wants to live. Fuck. Like, we just want to live. We want to worship our ancestors. We want to be connected with the earth, with the cosmos, and like live a life of love, of peace, of reciprocity, of balance, of healing. We want to live a wholesome life. We want to fucking live a wholesome life without being bothered. And so, yeah, to all my friends and listeners and dreamwalkers who are not black, this is not meant to offend you, honey bunny. Not at all. I'm just expressing how I feel about being a woman of African ancestry in these United States of America and all the stuff that I'm seeing on the news and how, this stuff is just like glossed over, and how like the images portrayed in the media like forever, like those that paints some people's reality. When I was in school, people, the only black people they've ever seen have been black people on television. So some people would come up to me like, yo, what's up, homie? Yo, what's up, home girl? And I'm like, what? And like they didn't mean it. They were trying to talk to me. Yo, girl, what's up? You know what I'm saying? That really happened to me in real life. And I'm like, why are you talking to me like that? Yo, because, I that's the way you talk. No, that's not the way I talk. Where'd you find this out? And so it just made sense. I was doing radio, and challenging people and getting them to look outside of themselves and learn to love each other. I really do believe that we can all get along. We can all love each other. I believe that. Okay, so anyways, tune in tomorrow, Monday, July the 6th, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you can hear my collection of music, and I'll talk a little bit. I'll do I'll give thanks to my spiritual team in the beginning, and I'll just explain briefly what this show is about. And we'll listen to some music together, and we'll rock out, and we'll feel what the artist is feeling when they're making the music. And we'll try to imagine ourselves in their shoes and their time. And we'll allow that anger to be transmuted and fueled into productive work in order to uplift our community. Do you hear me? What did I say? I said we'll let that anger, we'll transmute that anger and allow it to fuel us in order to help our community. Okay? Okay. Oh, I love you. Peace.